Hello guys, welcome to a new tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a caricature effect in Photoshop by using a photo of a person. So you need a picture. I choose a picture of myself. Yeah, I know, it's funny. It's a picture from one of my previous dance shows. Yeah, I dance also. So let's start using this picture. First of all, we need to cut it using the pen tool. Zoom in, Ctrl and plus, and then start to use the pen. I'm gonna speed up this process. Okay, so we finished using the pen tool. We did this path, and now take the A, press A, and take the path selection tool, gather everything, and right click on the selection and make a new selection. As you can see, we already have a nice cut. Now mask it, press this mask, and now double click on the mask. We need to play a bit with the hair, so it looks like this on the red color. Take the second tool and start to press around the hair, but not too much. You can zoom in for a better view. Okay, so look here. Don't go too much inside the hair. You can go outside, but not too much inside. If you want to cover more hair, take the brush tool and paint inside to bring back the hair if you went too far, like here. It depends a lot of your type, of your image type. Now we have this selection, and I think looks good. Good. Now we have to duplicate this one to have it if we do some mistakes along the way, and we hide it. Click on this icon. Now right click on the mask and apply layer mask. Now we want to cut the head. I know, doesn't seem that good to cut a head, but for our purposes it's okay. Now take again the pen tool, press P, zoom in, and now we need to cut precise around the ear and the chin. That's it. Now make a selection, right click, make selection, and we are ready to go. You can cut the hair by pressing Ctrl and X and paste it with Ctrl and V. Great, now we have two layers. For today's tutorial, I'm going to shrink the body, not the head. I'm going to shrink this and place it where I think it suits better. Press enter. So now small adjustments. I saw here a cut which I don't like, you mask this, press the mask tool, take the brush tool, be aware of this. You have to have the black color, and now just press where you don't feel like it's okay. Yeah, looks better like that. Now, let's move on. Okay, now we need to set a background. Click here, choose a gradient. I like a red one, and choose radial. I want to make it brighter. I'm going back, I click on this color, and I move the center more to the right. Okay, I think it looks nice. Now, it already looks nice. Let's move on. I want to duplicate the head. Ctrl J, or right click on it, and then here, duplicate layer, and hide it. Let's call this head, big head. Okay, now having this layer selected, we go to filters, and here we can find oil paint. You can play around with the brush settings. As you can see, I already have my preview, and it does a really nice job. Okay, so play with this depending on your image, and now I think looks nice. I press OK, it looks nice. Now going back to the body, let's name this body. Duplicate this also in case we need it along the way, hide it, and now apply the same effect to the body. Go to filter and oil paint. Great. Now let's move on with the next phase. Great. I need now some shadows on the head. We double click on it, and we choose inner shadow. We press the mouse and we move the shadow to the left. Let's size it, make it bigger. So with and without. Now it's with shadow, now it's without shadow. Drag it more to the left so you don't have more shadow to the left side of my head, and press OK. Without shadow, with shadow. Now we do the same thing to the body. Double click, press inner shadow. You just play a bit with opacity. Great. Now we need another shadow here on my neck. So we make a new layer, create a new layer, select this layer, the body, by pressing Ctrl and press the layer, and now anything we draw inside the body. So take the brush tool, we choose a softer brush, make the flow 29% or so. As you can see, we have the shadow. Now let's make the shadow more opaque. I want to make another shadow. Let's make a new layer, and now make the brush smaller and make us another shadow here. Also make it more opaque, something like that. Deselect it, and now we have our shadows. let's move on. For the next phase of our project, we will use the dodge and burn to make the picture more realistic and to have more lights and shadows. Make a new layer by pressing here, layer, new, and let's call this dodge and burn. Make it overlay and click here to have this 30% gray. So zoom in, take the burn, take the burn tool and make the exposure like 50%. Now we're gonna draw on the darker parts of the image, especially the hair. Press on the head to have only the head selected, and anything you do, you apply to the head, not to the background. Okay, now we move on to the body. Click on the body by holding Ctrl, and now we do the same thing. Okay, now we go back to the head part, hold Ctrl and click on this layer, and now we take the dodge tool. You need to draw on top of the lighter parts of the image. Okay, now move on to the body. Under Ctrl, hold Ctrl and click on the body. Do the same thing with the dodge. Okay, let's move on now and draw a shadow underneath our character. So place all those layers into a group, and now double click on the group, drop shadow, and let's play a bit with it. So this is the shadow. We need to make it more opaque. Yeah, and now press OK, and let's create a layer. Right click on the effect part, and now create layer. This is the shadow. Ctrl T for the transform, and now with the distort we can move it and place it wherever we want to be. Yeah, I think it looks nice like this. We need to make a copy of everything that is on screen to merge them in one single layer by pressing a shortcut which is Ctrl, Alt, Shift and A. And now you have a copy of everything that's on screen. With this selected, go Filter, Filter Gallery and choose Photocopy. Let's see how it looks. It looks really nice by itself already. So press OK, and now go to set this to multiply. As you can see, it looks nice. Let's set the opacity 50%. I think it looks nice. So now let's move on. Alright, we're going to place this one inside our group, and now for the next part we'll do some lights adjustment by using curves. So press the curves here and we'll do some adjustments. Alright, so this looks nice. For the next part I want to do some more adjustments. We are doing the same thing that we did before by holding Ctrl, Alt, Shift and E. You see, I make a copy of everything, and now press filter, go to other, and check high pass. Now, depending on your image size, try not to have too much visible in the picture, so it should have only an outline of your image. Okay, so try not to go that much, because if you have a smaller picture size and use the same radius as I do, it might look different. So try to play with it. Now, with this one selected, choose overlay, and what this does is adding some sharpness on everything. Now, with this one selected, let's rename this to high pass. I want to do even more sharpness, so I Ctrl Alt Shift I, and we go to filter and choose sharpen and smart sharpen. As you can see on the preview, it adds some sharpness to our image. So this is with the sharpen, without and with. As you can see, it looks really nice. Now, let's do something else. On this picture that we did, I want to use some blur tool, the blur from here, and I want to blur some of my face. And we can do this by taking the blur tool from here and play a bit with the blur. Press T and write something. Okay, with this one selected, let's make a new layer underneath it. Take the marquee tool and draw a rectangle. Fill it with a color by taking the paint bucket tool. Choose any color you want, let's say white, and deselect it by pressing Ctrl and D. Yeah, this looks nice. Alright, now let's make this one bigger. By holding Ctrl, select the top layer, and now press Ctrl T and drag this to make it bigger. Alright, okay, now let's play with the rectangle for a bit. Let's make this one gradient. Okay, choose whatever you prefer. Yeah. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, now let's take care of the text. Let's change this color to white. Okay, now let's play with the text. Double click on it, choose drop shadow. The size should be 0, because if the size is other than 0, bigger, it adds some fade. Okay, and I don't want the fade now, I want the shadow to be straight. Okay, so this is my shadow. Now I want to add some inner shadow, something like that, starting from the top left corner. And now I make the size bigger, so it looks like it's coming, my text is cut, it has a shadow inside, and now the opacity could be bigger. And I want to add some stroke, a line around it, and now we can go to blending options and set it to overlay. And I think it looks nice. Press OK, and now if you want to rotate this, Control and click both layers and Control T, and this is it. I think it looks really nice. Now, if you want add some lightning effects, you can go to the first layer, make a new layer on top of it, create a new layer, fill it with black, choose filter, render, and lens flare. Okay, 120. Set this one to screen, and you can drag the light wherever you want, and it looks like that. If you don't like those reflections on top of the face, you can create a mask, and having the black tool the black color selected, you can erase with a soft brush what you don't like. This is it for today. I hope you like the tutorial. If you do, please subscribe to my channel. See you next time.